Hi there everyone and welcome to another video on Nemesis 1994. Welcome back to another video on Ride Sims 2. So previously on the channel we've operated Baron 1998 from F-Tine, and I thought in today's video we could operate something a bit well known to everyone that's also fairly easy to run. One of our new favourite coasters from Thorpe Park, Hyperia. It is considered an easy simulation, and it is fairly straightforward to operate. So peep control settings are based on if you've paid for Rad Sims Plus on Patreon as a membership, but it's free to join and play anyway and have an average queue generation. So it says, welcome to the unofficial Hyperia simulation, find your fearless. So here's a map of your layout. So the controls for Hyperia is you've got 3 queue lines, whereas the real ride has 4 because you have ride access pass, but not all of them are in every simulation. So you've got a main queue, fast track queue, and a single rider queue. So if we get some of those open, people can start joining the queues. And we need to add both of the trains to the system, so we turn on the power and restart the system. You get a good Hyperia wing effect. You switch to maintenance mode and activate the blocks. So Hyperia only has 3 block sections, which means it can only run 2 trains. Then we press move transfer, so it's moving your transfer track into the station from the maintenance. We can add our first train. So that will slowly come out of the maintenance shed. So as you can see at the merge point, as it is in real life, there's a merge point of all the queue lines. So being held there is the main queue, and fast track are being allowed through into the station. Those 2 guests there are your single rider queue, which there's only 2 people part of. So if we move the transfer up, we can now dispatch the train. For a test cycle while we let the other train out of the maintenance shed. Now once that train's moved out of the way, we'll be able to move the transfer track again to repeat the same. Can add the second train. Sometimes it can take its time to move into position. It's also based on the frame rate of your computer as well. Mine seems to struggle. It's a Mac computer, so it's a MacBook Pro from 2015. It's pretty old. It can struggle to screen record so you guys can see it and run it as well. So it normally run a bit faster, but it's the best I can get it. So now we can dispatch the second train. and we're pretty much ready to get going. So we can switch it to normal mode and start operation. So something cool that Hyperia has, which select simulations have, is with the view. You can actually have a view inside of the station. So if we start loading up the air gates with the main queue now, and see if we need any space for the single rider. So at the bottom of the screen you'll see that our air gates are filling up while the first train's heading back into the station. I can see myself there in the up cabin, just over here. So all the air gates are fully loaded, so we don't need any single riders, and the first train is coming back into the station. Can now open the restraints and load people onto the train. So everyone's sat down, so we'll be able to, when the word loading disappears, we'll be able to shut the gates. And then we close the restraints. So the controls is just like Baron in our previous video. So to up and down on your keypad, open and close the restraints, and the right key opens the gate and left key closes the gates, and spacebar dispatches. It's very similar controls. So that train's now ready to leave. Blimey, the frame rate is struggling with my screen recorder. So the air gates are all filled up again. We'll have some people on the fast pass queue to move up when we load another train. And we can add a single rider as well. When you get the isometric view on, especially this simulation, it's cool how you get the lighting effects that Hyperia has. And you can see pretty cool things, like you see people's bags in the lockers as well. It's pretty realistic. We're probably waiting on the second train to arrive back into the station. It's probably struggling because of the frame rate. Here we go. Something you have to be careful with, as you can notice, the blocks button is flashing red. That means the train in the station now hadn't moved off the brake run by the time the train I've just dispatched reached the top of the lift. So the lift has stopped running because it couldn't allow the train to enter this block whilst the train was still on the brake run. So I can just reactivate now that it's moved into the station, whilst I unload this train. So open the restraints. You have to be in normal mode to load guests. So you can now open the gates. You can close the restraints. Right, the purple lighting means that the train's ready to dispatch. Probably give it a few seconds to make sure the train that just left the top of the lift hill has had time to clear most of the layout. It is flashing green, so we should be just about good to go. Yeah, yet again I do apologise for the frame rate because it is struggling with a screen recorder, because I could do with a better laptop or PC in the future. But I can make it work. It usually doesn't freeze this much, but it's probably because of the software to record this video for you. Now that we have some very happy people, now that they've been around on Hyperia. Thanks for riding Hyperia. I've also heard that you can get custom-made operators panels with actual buttons that can connect to your laptop or PC to play Ride Sims 2, or No Limits as well, which that I don't play much No Limits, which is pretty cool. I'd have to look at doing that in the future at some point. Hopefully a lot of you like what you see, that you can operate one of your favourite rides from Thorpe Park. So you can sign up and give it a go for free. It's completely free to sign up. Just create an account with an email and a password. That's all you need to start operating. You don't have to pay for any additional subscriptions if you don't want to. It works pretty well for free. You'll get access to all the simulation that's out currently. So there's only one beta one each month that will be available to supporters via Patreon. However, that one will move to become free a month later. So even if you're playing for free, you'll still get a new one each month. But if you want to be that one simulation ahead, that's what the subscription's for. And having additional controls in game, such as managing your crowd levels, and some other simulations have some other visual effects. So this has been a little bit of an introductory guide to how to operate Hyperia at Thorpe Park on Ride Sims 2. We hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments down below which simulation you'd like to see next from the great selection of choice. Most rides out there are on the website. So yet again, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Keep on operating, guys.